Well, folks, it looks like the New York Yankees are back in business. As for the Mets are concerned, it's just wait and see time. Let's talk about it. Juan Soto to the Yankees, and the Mets trying to figure things out. So the Yankees get their man. They get Juan Soto in a trade with the San Diego Padres as the Yankees part ways with 5 players, 4 pitching prospects, basically, as well as veteran catcher Kyle Higashioka, to go get a player who is going to be a huge boon for them in the middle of their lineup. The Yankees over the last couple years have been, I don't want to say pinching pennies, but they haven't been the big spenders, the team that's going out there and making big moves the way that the Yankees are, the way we're used to seeing the Yankees make big moves in the past. They've been keeping things close to the vest, focusing on developing their players in the minor league system. And even at trade deadlines where you would think that the Yankees would make moves, have been pretty quiet. This year, they went out there and they made a big move. Brian Cashman has had a lot of heat on him from Yankee fans, and this time they got it done and they got a big time player in Juan Soto. Here's a player who is a left-handed slugger. So already you have an opportunity for the Yankees to lengthen that lineup. And now you add a left-handed bat, which has been a problem for the Yankees, who have been mostly a right-handed lineup with the exception of Anthony Rizzo when he is healthy. Now they have an opportunity to have Soto behind Judge to give him some help in the lineup. They can move Stanton down the order. You also have the addition of Alex Verdugo, formerly of the Boston Red Sox, in a rare trade between the Yankees and Red Sox. Only the 8th time the Yankees and the Sox have ever made a trade. The Yankees go out there and they get Alex Verdugo to help them in the outfield as well in left field. So all of a sudden the Yankee outfield is going to look like this. You're going to have Verdugo in left. You're going to have Aaron Judge moving over to center. And you're going to have Juan Soto in right. So the Yankee lineup looks amazing. It looks fantastic. And the Yankees, Brian Cashman keeps saying, they're not done. They are in heavy pursuit of Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They are sending their own dignitaries out there to try to persuade him to come to the Bronx instead of Queens. We'll talk about the Mets situation in a moment. But this is huge. You have an opportunity now. If the Mets are, let's say, serious about going after Yamamoto, and the word is Steve Cohen, David Stearns went out to Japan this week to talk to Yamamoto about coming to Queens. And Yamamoto's looking for a big contract somewhere in the range of $300 million, basically Garrett Cole territory. Will Steve Cohen, who is no stranger to throwing out even the biggest offer, and everyone knows that he's going to do so, will he take the bait from the Mets and go to Queens? And if he does, man alive, that creates a situation where we have both the Mets and the Yankees in a situation where both are willing to spend big money, basically for the first time staring down one another. That is something we have not seen in New York with these two franchises really ever. Even when the Mets were pretty good and the Yankees, of course, were in the middle of their dynasty in the late 90s, really wasn't that kind of tit for tat in the offseason or trade deadlines, if you will, of big time moves. It was always the Yankees spending a lot of money and the Mets kind of spending a little bit, doing just enough. This has a chance, if Yamamoto picks the Mets, to be a seismic shift in how these two teams go up against one another. Now, the Yankees, as I said, have been Yamamoto's pursuit for a long time. Brian Cashman went out there to Japan earlier last season to watch him pitch. They're sending some of their former players, like Hideki Matsui, out there to speak to him and convince him to come play for the Yankees. My own personal gut feeling is he's probably going to end up picking the Yankees. Obviously, the tradition, the success that Japanese players have had with the Yankees, and the fact that the Yankees look like they're willing to go out there and do whatever it takes as well to outbid the Mets, possibly, for someone like Yamamoto. So I think he might end up picking them, but we'll see what happens. The Mets are certainly going to be very much alive in this pursuit. So that's where we are right now in New York baseball. You have the Yankees, who are back to being the Yankees all of a sudden, willing to go out there and make big moves and make big signings, potentially. And the Mets, who so far this offseason have been very quiet. Sign Luis Severino to a 1-year deal, and other than that, they've been signing a lot of guys to minor league contracts, guys who are not going to pop off the page, at least on the name as far as the name is concerned. And it feels in a way that if the Mets don't get Yamamoto, that maybe the Mets are willing to kind of shift things towards kind of a mini rebuild. In fact, so far this offseason has felt like kind of like a mini rebuild for the Mets so far. So that's why I'm kind of like reluctant to sit here and tell you, yes, the Mets are going to go out there and pursue Yamamoto. They're going to sign him. They're going to sign this guy, that. I don't even know if that's going to happen because I still think the Mets are kind of in flux of what they really want to do, what they really want to be. They're interested in getting Yamamoto. How far are they willing to go to make that happen? The Yankees seem destined to try to make that happen as much as they possibly can. Now, one other thing here on Soto. I kind of got off track there just a little bit going into the Yamamoto stuff. On Juan Soto. Now, look, the Yankees, of course, take a bit of a risk here. Yes, he's a 25-year-old player who's got a lot of talent, has a lot of power in his bat, is going to hit a lot of home runs into the short porch in right field of Yankee Stadium. He's a free agent at the end of the year in 2024, a year from now. Do the Yankees extend a contract towards him? Now, surfing around Twitter, we've all seen these things where it seems like he really likes New York. I saw a post on Twitter where he's speaking Spanish in an interview saying that he's had his eyes on New York, he's had his eyes on the Yankees. I remember it was a year or two ago at the All-Star game where Soto's talking about playing in New York. This is a place where he wants to play. So you would think, now that he's in New York now playing for the Yankees, that the Yankees are going to be the favorite to sign him long-term. Keep in mind, the Yankees also have money coming off the books. You know, someone like Anthony Rizzo is going to be off the books in 2025. So certainly they're going to have some flexibility to sign Soto to a long-term contract at the end of this upcoming season. So that's where the Yankees are. I think they get their man. They get Juan Soto. They now have a left-handed slugger in the middle of the slab to help Aaron Judge, to help Giancarlo Stanton, to help this team that has been struggling so mightily to have any kind of consistency in the lineup, to now be a team that could possibly push in a very stacked division in the AL East. And now it's the Yamamoto sweepstakes between the Mets, the Yankees. Now it could be another team involved like the Giants, the Dodgers, the Cardinals. These are teams rumored in the mill for Yamamoto. Now, for those who may not be familiar with Yamamoto, I will say this. This is a pitcher who is only 25 years old and has put up huge numbers in Japan. His ERA, let me just pull it up. Let me just pull up the numbers for you. His ERA in Japan, 1.82. 1.82. And he has 70 wins in Japan. So that's why teams want to get this guy. That's why he is one of the top most pursued free agent pitchers this year in a weak free agent class here in 2023-24. And that's why we're going to see this battle here between the Mets and the Yankees to see who has the most, not just the most money, but who is willing to blink and maybe even go further than the $300 million that is possibly an asking price here to get this guy in town. Will it be Steve Cohen? Will it be Brian Cashman and the Yankees? We're going to find out very soon, probably in a week, maybe two. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Sports Talk Nation.